Hello, Katie here from Align and Advance. Thank you for watching this video or listening if you're listening on the podcast. If you're watching on the video, you may notice that I've washed my hair. This is why I'm recording this today, because my house is relatively tidy and I have washed my hair. So quite proud of myself because I'm going out to normal people shops today, not saddleries. So yeah, I thought I had better make a bit of an effort. So on this video today, I'm going to explain a bit about one part of my job. So at Advance and Align, I help people with their riding confidence as one side of the job, and the other side, I do Equine Reiki. And a lot of people don't know what Reiki is, so I thought that I'd do a video / podcast to explain it. I've got some notes here because I'm not that much of a professional at this. So I'm going to explain, first of all, what Reiki is. So Reiki can be performed on humans or animals. It's basically an energy healing practice. It comes from Japan. And it is just when I'm practicing Reiki, I'm channeling energy. I'm not giving away my energy. I'm just channeling energy toward the human or horse or dog or sheep, whatever I'm practicing the Reiki on. It's known as energy healing. It is not it's a complementary therapy. It is not instead of seeing a vet or a doctor, but it's a complementary therapy where it can help at the same time. So just for example, if your horse has had ulcers and has been treated for those ulcers, afterwards there can be some lingering niggling, some leftover behaviours that aren't ideal because it takes them quite a while to get over something as uncomfortable as that. Or if they've had some kind of operation or been on box rest for a long time, Reiki can really help align their energies again, because horses are very energetic beings in a herd. They feed off of each other's energy all the time to keep themselves safe. So yeah, that's what Reiki is. So everything has got energy running through it. People, plants. I mean, this is all going to sound slightly hippie-ish now, but we are all energy sources. And if that energy gets blocked or disrupted, that's when unwanted health issues, behaviours, tensions can come up. So Reiki is just a way of helping that energy flow and making you feel a lot better. If you wonder if your horse needs Reiki and what it would feel like, I would suggest, I mean, us horse people are terrible at this, but book yourself a session with a Reiki practitioner and see how you enjoy it. It is amazing. When I first heard of Reiki, probably 20 years ago or so, my mum trained and I didn't really know much about it and didn't really take too much notice. And I really hurt my back at the stables, and I had a physical job as well. And I came home and I was living with my parents then. And my mum said, well, let me do some Reiki on you. I think it will help your back. And I just said, oh, okay, then fine. Even though I didn't really know what it was. And she did Reiki on me and I went to bed. And then the next morning, my back was absolutely fine. And I couldn't believe it because I was really in pain and I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to work properly or look after my horses. So and then from then I completely believed in it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. So my mum's been doing it for years and I trained as well. But I do it on humans, but I prefer doing it on animals just because I'm just a bit more comfortable around animals than humans sometimes. So how does it work with horses? So when I arrive for a treatment at your yard, it's nicer to have a kind of quiet space to work in, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be completely silent. And we'll work in the space that you've got. Some horses live out, so we do it in the field, and we can do it at a distance, or I can be close up to them, or they can come into a stable or a pen. It really doesn't matter. Wherever the horse is most comfortable is the best place. If the horse isn't worried about forage, then that's fine. They can not eat through it. But if they are the kind of horse that settles better with a hay net or just out on the grass, it's really no problem for them to be eating through the treatment. Grazing is totally natural for horses, and it's better that they're happy. So I don't force touch. Some horses prefer hands-off treatment, and some horses prefer hands-on. There's a horse I treat regularly. She's very, very ticklish. She prefers a firm groom. She likes lots of scratches, but she prefers a hands-on treatment. And I place my hands fairly firmly on her, because if I do a hands-off treatment, my hands are generally about kind of this far away from the horse, and she starts to kind of wriggle her skin as if there's a fly on there, because she can feel just that kind of almost feather-like touch kind of going over her, and she doesn't really enjoy that. So I do hands-on with her, but my horse prefers hands-off, definitely hands-off. So yeah, I'm guided by how the horse prefers it. But when I first arrive, we get the horse comfortable in the space, then I go into the space, put on some nice calming music, which the horses always seem to really love. And then I start to work on my energy and kind of invite the horse into me. And then when I feel that the horse is ready, sometimes they come over to me. I did one a couple of weeks ago for the first time. I've done him a few times now, but he came over to me and just put his head in my hands, and I just melted. I just thought that is just the most wonderful thing. I love doing this. So sometimes they come over to me, and sometimes they just kind of look and kind of invite me over, and then I start to work on them. At each treatment, I allow about an hour for the treatment, but hands-on it tends to be around about 45 minutes, but again guided by the animal. If after 35 minutes they seem to be walking away and just want a rest from it, then I come away. That's totally fine, for like however they're happy, really. If owners want to stick around and enjoy the treatment as well, then I just ask them to sit quietly, have their phone on silent, and sit in the corner of the stable or somewhere around the yard that they can see their horse. And I talk them through just a really short breathing exercise so that they can get their energy in line with mine and the horses, and then we all relax together. It's actually really nice if the owner does stick around, because they kind of get a treatment as well, because energy goes where energy is needed. And if they need a little bit of healing as well, which is often the case with us horsey people, we've always got aches and pains, haven't we? Then the energy will flow to them as well. So that's really nice. And it's a nice bonding experience for them and their horse too. So yeah, that's a lovely thing to do. So we then go through and I work my way around the horse. I might stay longer in some places than others, just depending on how the energy seems to be flowing and how I'm feeling. Horses that release, they pretty much, I've never had one that didn't show some kind of release. They often urinate quite early on in the treatment. Some have a drink as well quite early on, and then they start to just melt into a very relaxed stance often. Often head down, eyes start to close, very slow blinking, chewing, licking and yawning, and they can lay down as well sometimes. So I do ask for the bed, if we're in a stable, for the bed to be down, because sometimes they do lay down, not too often. Generally they just rest a leg, but sometimes they can just like say, oh, that's it, I'm just going to have a snooze now, which is just so lovely. And yeah, that's how they tend to release. And relax. I do ask that when you book a treatment, you don't book it around feed time, because feed time is just too exciting. No one can relax. I wouldn't be able to relax into a Reiki treatment if someone next to me was eating a roast dinner. So I do try to just not have it around feed time. So yeah, that's the one thing. So the things that it can really help with, just made a few notes here, like stress, anxiety, tension, things caused by like box rest, traveling, changes of yard, changes of environment. That can really help. Trauma and past experiences, it can help horses release from that. So if they're a rescue horse, I would recommend treatments maybe twice a week for 3 weeks or so, just to really release from that. Rescue horses often respond really beautifully. Takes them a while at the beginning because they're not used to that really gentle energy coming from humans. And then when they do, and also on rescue horses, I would say for the owners to stick around and enjoy the treatment as well, so that we can make kind of like a real bond, which is lovely. So behavioural issues, real nervousness and spookiness, it can just help the horse relax and feel safe. Physical discomfort, like I mentioned, after veterinary treatment, after having ulcers, or any kind of like back treatment, things like that. It can really help the horse relax. And then unfortunately, like there's end of life comfort as well. We can perform Reiki before horses are put to sleep, unfortunately, if they have to be, just so they're really relaxed and in a really lovely relaxed state. So yeah, if you don't have to be like spiritual to believe in this. I don't know if I'm spiritual or not, but I do believe in energy, and I've seen it work so much that yeah, I'm obviously a firm believer, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily very woo-woo in other areas of my life. So the horses believe in it. That's all that matters, really. And most animals do as well. I was treating a sheep last week. She'd been really, really poorly, and she had veterinary treatment and was on the road to recovery, but she still had some stomach pains, and she needed to release a lot of the gas that had built up inside of her. And it was kind of like a catch-22, because she still needed to be kept in for the treatment, but she needed to move around a bit more to release the gas, which she is doing now. So she's out in the field and she's happy. But I gave her a few Reiki treatments last week, and I was next to the owner's barn where they keep their horses, and they were in there while I was doing one of the Reiki treatments. They were in there mucking out, and they had all their dogs in there. And then I was concentrating on the treatment, and then when I turned around, there were 3 sheep, and the sheep that I was treating, incidentally, she needed to release this gas, and in 25 minutes, I counted them, she did 18 burps, bless her. By the way, side note, sheep burps stink. But she was super happy afterwards. And then and then I turned around, and the other 2 sheep were absolutely sound asleep behind me. So they'd really relaxed. And then I walked into the barn, and all the dogs were just flat out on their side. So they'd been feeling it as well. And the owner said that one of them that particularly is quite nervous. He'd just been laying in the stable, just flat out, having a lovely snooze. So I think, like I said, if you stick around for the treatment with your horse, the energy goes where the energy is needed. So it's really nice. Yes, so I think that's about it. If you've got any other questions or anything that I haven't answered about how Reiki can benefit horses and horse riders, and animals and anyone in general, then just give me a shout. Pop a comment in, or you're welcome to email me, or yeah, just get in contact with me somehow, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I perform Reiki all across Essex at different stable yards, and it's really, really fulfilling. So thanks for watching or listening, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.